Okay, good afternoon to everyone and welcome to today's event, the Rose Review Female Entrepreneurship Mentoring Programme with Be the Business. My name is Andy Light from NatWest Business Banking, and this event is in collaboration with Be the Business and the West of England Combined Authority, better known as WECA. So before we get into today's agenda, here's a little bit about me and my role. As a business growth enabler in Somerset and Bristol, it's my job to help and support businesses to grow. We offer free events and workshops, albeit virtual at the moment. We also partner with key organisations to deliver these, such as the LEPs, chambers and universities, so you can take away expert knowledge and discover all the support that is out there. These are beneficial not only to boost your network and meet like-minded businesses, but also to gain practical business support from the content of the events. We also have the Business Builder, which is our totally free virtual tool to support businesses looking to grow and those looking to start up. The program comprises of digital learning, wraparound events, and there is a thriving online community, all designed to support businesses to upskill at their own pace and at a time that suits them. Following the Business Builder, there are even more advanced programs NatWest offer within our Accelerator Hub based in the Bristol City Centre. To find out more about all the business support we offer, please go to our website, natwest.com/business. Now later we're going to hear from Sam Bell from WECA around their business support service, where you can benefit from one-to-one tailored advice, funding, training, events and networking opportunities. Be the Business will be explaining their mentoring programs, and we have the pleasure of being joined by Ella Masma, founder of Business Yoga, and Emily Ryder, mentee and mentor for this female entrepreneurship mentoring program. Now, before then, I will hand you over to my colleague Heather Waters, who will be talking to you today around the free mentoring program that NatWest is supporting in partnership with Be the Business and available for female entrepreneurs in the Bristol City area. There will be some time at the end for Q&A, so to all of our panelists, so please write any questions that you may have in the chat box. Now, without any further ado, I'll hand you over to Heather, and hopefully, Heather, you're there.
I am. Thank you, Andy, and hello, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. So as Andy said, my name's Heather Waters. I'm the Enterprise Manager for NatWest Women in Business. I just want to give you a little bit of an overview of what NatWest is doing at the moment to support female entrepreneurs. So back in 2019, our Women in Business proposition hosted over 350 events and reached over 22,000 female entrepreneurs. Last year, due to the pandemic, due to COVID, we had to go digital. So there's a lot less actual events taking place. We actually did 350 events, but we did reach over 100,000 women. So we're really, really pleased that we actually got that reach. We have in the bank over 800 externally accredited women in business specialists who work with our female entrepreneurs to support them with their business growth and the variety of initiatives we have available. In 2019, our Chief Exec, Alison Rose, released the Rose Review for Female Entrepreneurs on behalf of UK Government, and I spent a lot of time on this along with quite a few of my colleagues. It was recognised there is a £250 billion economic opportunity in the UK if women set up and scale businesses at the same rate as men. And the NatWest Group, we want to support as many women as possible. This report looked at the barriers females in the UK face and set out 8 key initiatives that seek to address them. Now, I'm not going to go through all 8 today. I'm glad you'll be glad to hear, but I want to talk up one of the particular initiatives, and that was number 6, which is about expanding mentoring and networking opportunities. The initiative says it's looking at ways to connect and amplify existing networking and mentoring programs and to increase their reach and impact for female entrepreneurs, while recognising that individual mentoring needs may vary widely and they will change over the lifetime of business. Now, we launched this free of charge mentoring programme for female entrepreneurs on National Mentoring Day on the 27th of October with Be the Business. I'm delighted that today we will get to hear from one of the entrepreneurs who actually signed up onto the programme and is going to share their experience with us. As Andy has said, there is an opportunity to ask questions about all the different support you're going to hear about today. So please do use the chat on the platform that you're using, and we will come to that at the end of the event. But first of all, we're going to hear from WECA, or West of England Combined Authority, from the Growth Hub. So I'm going to hand you over to Sam Bell, who's going to talk you through the business support they've got available for you. So Sam, over to you, please.
Lovely, thank you, Heather. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sam Bell, and I'm the Senior Partnership Lead for Enterprise at the Growth Hub. I'll just give you a bit of a background as to what the Growth Hub is and how it aligns with WECA. So the Growth Hub is the West of England Combined Authorities business support service, dedicated business support service, and we provide SMEs with tailored one-to-one support. I will hand over to my colleague Daisy a little bit later, and she'll go through all of the support programs which are available. But at the moment, we just launched a new Together West of England, We Are West of England programme on Monday, which is the business support services which are fully available. I'm happy to share those details with anybody who'd like them. And there will be a slide later so you can get all of our details. As you could imagine, over the last sort of 10 months, we're providing increased level of business support to our 45,000 plus businesses in the West of England to help them adapt and to help them to respond to the changing world. We've adapted some of our programs so that we can support more businesses. And hopefully we can look forward to that recovery. And again, we've got our recovery board, which are working tirelessly to look at ways in which we can work with businesses. So I'm going to hand over to my colleague Daisy now, who will explain how the Growth Hub team work, what programs are available, and go from there. And hopefully the presentation slide will come up, and that's got all of our contact details on there. So you can get in touch with us by phone, email, or through our Growth Hub website. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. So hello, everyone. I'm Daisy Jeffries, and I am Senior Enterprise Executive in the Growth Hub team. So my role, as Sam was talking about, along with the other Growth Hub Enterprise Executives, is to support businesses in the region to innovate and grow and scale up, helping them really to address any challenges to growth they may be facing and to connect them up to the right support streams. So some of the areas in which we provide support include funding and finance, leadership and management, adoption of technology, EU exit, and intellectual property. And this support is delivered through both our internal programmes at West of England Combined Authority and also via our approved support providers. And that includes organisations such as NatWest and Be the Business, who we work very closely with. An example of one of our programmes at West of England Combined Authority is our fully funded Trading Better Online programme, which we're delivering in partnership with an organisation called TechSpark. This programme helps businesses to improve their online presence, helps them to boost their engagement with customers through online channels, and it has been proven to be very successful in boosting business resilience, particularly in the current climate. Please do get in touch with us if you'd like to discuss further. We're very happy to chat with any SMEs in the region that are looking to grow and scale, or who may need support through the current crisis. Thank you, and I'll hand back to you, Heather.
Thank you, Daisy, and thank you, Sam. Really interesting to see what you've got available, and you have got those contact details. We will share them, everybody, at the end of the event as well. So I want to now hand you over to Jenny Cridland from Be the Business. Be the Business is an organisation. We're working on the mentoring platform. There's many other things that I actually do deliver. So I want to give Jenny the opportunity to just talk through who they are and what they do, and then actually go through the mentoring programme we're both supporting at this moment in time. So can I hand over to you now, Jenny Cridland, please?
Hi, Heather. Thanks very much for that. And hello, everybody. Great to have you here on our webinar today. So who are Be the Business, you might be wondering. So Be the Business is an independent, not-for-profit organisation, and we help businesses to improve their performance and productivity. Most of our focus is working with small and medium-sized businesses that want to change what they do and how they do it. They want to get better, they want to grow, and they want some guidance and advice on that. So Be the Business was first launched in November 2017, and we had funding and support both from the UK government and also from some of Britain's leading companies, names that you'll certainly recognise, like McKinsey, BAE Systems, John Lewis Partnership, and Amazon and Facebook. But we do work with the entire business community to share what works for today's best businesses with every company that wants to learn and to improve. So one of the things that we do is base everything that we do on evidence and also feedback from small business leaders. And one of the things that we know from our work and the evidence that we've researched is that improving leadership and management skills and also digital adoption are two things that really drive up productivity and efficiency in organisations. So pretty much everything that Be the Business does focuses on those two areas, because we know that's where we're going to get the sort of biggest return, or organisations will get the biggest return. So some of the things that we do in addition to our mentoring, I'll just tell you a little bit about those. So the vast majority of the products and programs that we run are free to use and to be involved in. And an example of that is something that we put in place specifically for the pandemic. There was an awful lot of information flying around and a bit of overload, I think, for people. So Be the Business pulled together a resource called Rebuild on our website, which had fantastic response. We had 750,000 hits on that website at the sort of peak of the pandemic, and it's still there, it's still available, and it's got lots of practical tools and resources to help businesses at the moment. We also run programs and webinars to help leaders, such as our Spark webinars, which explore topics like well-being and finance. We operate peer learning groups, advisory boards, and we also have a business benchmarking tool on our website so that you can get some sense of how your business compares to others. And then we have our Productivity Through People program, and that's quite an in-depth program. There is a charge for that, but the value that people get from it is tremendous. And we're running that with the University of Bath at the moment, supported by WECA. So that's in train right now. There's also lots of advice available for business leaders on digital adoption and tech on our digital page. We've got a tech toolkit, which helps you to work through what products and services might be suitable for your business and help to demystify that whole area. So let's come on to mentoring. So we also run a mentoring program, and we've partnered with NatWest specifically to run a program targeted at women entrepreneurs as a result of the Rose Review, as Heather's already described. So once again, we know that mentoring is a really effective way of sharing knowledge and skills in an informal but targeted way. And today we're going to hear from people that have actually experienced the programme or are experiencing the programme. So I think it's great to actually hear from participants sharing their experiences so that you can get a real flavour for what's involved in being part of this mentoring programme. So first of all, today we're going to hear from Emily. So if we can invite Emily to join us. And Emily is one of our mentors on the programme.
Hi, Jenny.
Hello, Emily. Nice to see you. And thanks again for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
So just set the scene a little bit. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do, and then we'll talk about what you do as a mentor.
Yeah, sure. So I've worked in the finance industry for about 18 years, starting off as a business support person, moving into relationship management, and now I head up a specialist franchise team within Hitachi Capital.
Wow.
I suppose as part of my career, I've helped entrepreneurs, SMEs kind of seek funding for their business, be that at a startup stage or at a growth stage. And that's the part of my job that I really enjoy. And I have a real admiration for entrepreneurs, SMEs, the people that are running those type of businesses. And I guess this is a probably particularly lonely time, particularly difficult time with what's happening in the world at the moment. So I wanted to volunteer as I could and see what I could do to help.
Fantastic. So that's given us a little bit of an idea of what drew you to becoming a mentor. But how have you developed your relationship with your mentee?
As I suppose from the very first meeting, Ella and I realised that there was quite a personal connection there. I suppose we come from completely different backgrounds, got completely different skills. I'm not fantastic at yoga or dance by any stretch of the imagination, but I realised that I could impart business skills with Ella, and we had similar interests and kind of values, I think, as well. So that helped build the relationship from the very early stages. Our first meeting kind of set the scene. We talked very much about what Ella wanted to achieve from the 12-week programme, and we set some very measurable goals. And we do revisit those each time we meet. So we meet each Friday morning every week. And although it's fairly structured, it's kind of a conversation between two people that are trying to work out the best way for business. It might be me suggesting things and Ella might run with them, or she might not. I also found, so Be the Business had some very good seminars on how to have your first meeting, with the kind of what questions to ask, how to ask open questions. And that was really useful for me in this being my first formal mentoring experience.
So just sort of building on that, how have you developed or benefited, would you say, Emily, from being a mentor as part of the programme?
I think there's some business benefits for me, and there's some personal benefits as well. So from the business side of things, all businesses, be they small startups or established corporates, and you're managing a team, the business building blocks are kind of the same. So one of the things that Ella and I were talking about was, where are her customers coming from? What does her typical customer look like? We looked at customer avatars for her and took them through the customer journey, and how did she make that customer journey appealing and easy for them at every step. And actually that's something that I can take away in my business. And when you're working within your business and it's all established, maybe you don't think about these things as much as you should. So there's been some useful things like that. Also, one of the other reasons I signed up to the programme was because I manage a team and I wanted to improve my coaching skills in a different environment. So signing up wasn't completely selfless. So I think it helps me with developing my coaching skills, my listening skills. And so there are some other benefits like that. And then personally, Ella's a really inspirational person. She's really motivational. She's passionate about her business, and that's inspiring for me. So I go away from our sessions feeling really motivated, really buoyed by someone who's very passionate. And I like the fact that I'm able to help her succeed in her business.
I would certainly concur with that. I've got a woman entrepreneur that I'm mentoring at the moment, who is based in Bristol, actually. And we speak once a week, normally on a Monday morning. And she just won her biggest ever contract this week. And it was just fantastic. I was so pleased for her. And it's just nice to feel that you're playing a small part in somebody's success. But I agree, there's definitely kind of a two-way thing here. You know, there's the gives and the gets. I certainly get a lot from that relationship, and learn things all the time from working with my mentee. So it's definitely a two-way thing. So I think we're going to invite Heather to just come back and join us for a little while, and to have a sort of a three-way conversation, I think, about some of the other things that we've learned from the mentoring scheme so far. So Heather, did you want to come in?
Yes, thanks Jenny, and thanks Emily for sharing your experience. I'm really interested because we're trying to, and I'm sure you're trying to attract more mentors to the program all the time, Jenny. And is that, it's a direct route onto your website to sign up to become a mentor? Because I know from the bank, we're trying to get some more of our staff engaged to do that. So I'm working with some of our women in business specialists I spoke about earlier, who are signed up and going through the training that's available. So first of all, Jenny, is that the route through your website if somebody's interested in becoming a mentor?
Yeah, I mean, it's ever so easy, Heather. You know, everybody's busy, everybody's got lots of things to do, and we're really grateful when people want to give of their time and their energy to this. So we try and make it as straightforward as possible. So it's just come on to the Be the Business website. We have a completely sort of online system. So you just need to register and then fill in your profile on our platform. It's important to understand that everybody's matched to a mentor or a mentee that's really sort of best suited to them. So it's not just a kind of a random thing. People that are interested in being a mentor, they put their profile up, they talk about the expertise that they have in a particular area. The mentee describes the sorts of things that they want help with. And the system, you know, it's a smart thing. It's kind of got an algorithm in it, and it connects the best fit of people together, so that, you know, we should find that it's a really good match, as we have indeed with Emily and Emma.
Yes, certainly. And as I understand, there is training on there as well. Emily, did you take up the opportunity to use some of the training tools that are actually on the website?
I did, yes. I think the most beneficial one for me, as I said, was the how to have the first meeting. And what kind of how to set the scene and the best way to have the conversation. So it was really useful.
So you're only mentoring one person at the moment, because I believe some people do take on more than one person. So this is your first person you've done mentoring with. So as an advocate for it, it's very interesting to see, you know, how far down your journey are you with Ella? How many weeks have you been talking now?
I think we must be on about week 9.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And are you? Yeah. And, you know, for your experience so far, has it actually met what you was looking to get from the program, you know, as being a mentor?
Yeah, I think it's probably exceeded my expectations. I think the natural connection and how easy it's been, and the easy kind of transfer of skills between the two of us has exceeded my expectations. I was quite nervous to join up. I guess as someone that manages a team, that's one thing. But as I said, this is my first formal mentoring experience, so I wasn't sure what to expect. But yeah, it's definitely been really beneficial, and I can see how both of us are benefiting from the relationship.
That's great. I'm, you know, really keen to get more women mentoring as well. I think it's from both sides, what the mentees and the mentors. And Jenny, just understanding that the system, because as I understand it, the mentee actually gets given a list. I know it's all on a tech-based platform of mentors, and it's up to them to actually go and choose which mentor they want to connect with, if I understand right.
Yeah, that's right, Heather. So there is an element of choice. So the platform will give you a sort of a prioritized list, if you like. So it will say, well, here are the top 3 matches for you. Here are the people that look like they're the best fit. But, you know, you've got entirely free choice here. So if you take a look at people's profiles and you don't think they're quite right for you, you can just keep searching. And likewise, you can reach out to people, you can message them through the platform and just make a connection, see if there is a bit of a connection there. And if you feel that it's going to work, you can have a chat, have an initial conversation, and then decide which of the mentors you'd most like to work with. So, you know, there is a degree of, a lot of freedom of choice in the way that the system works. But we do try and give you the best fit first, once again, because everybody's busy and, you know, it's trying to, you know, match people in a way that is likely to suit them. But you do get choice. And I think one of the things that I find quite interesting, actually, just to sort of build on some of the things that Emily was saying, I think, Emily, you were saying you were a bit nervous, a bit apprehensive to start with. And I think that's quite often the same for the mentees, because it's almost like, you know, is my business good enough? Am I good enough to get involved in this? And absolutely, you know, the whole kind of point of this is helping women to improve their business performance, to get help and support. So, you know, the mentors, we're not scary, we're really nice and we want to help, you know.
And no, it's very interesting you say that, because I'm just going to touch on, and obviously we're going to speak to Ellen and get her experience. But one of the things we're finding is that the people are going on the platform, and a few people are actually asking the questions how they sign up. So we will share back out the link for you to sign up on the various platforms. So most people are coming through on the LinkedIn, so we will share that back out to you, how to connect with us for the platform. But we are finding that a lot of people are going on and starting the process of registering and then stalling part the way through. And it isn't a very long process, as you've talked about. So it's not, you need to take an awful long time to do this. You've got to think about, because of what you say you need is what's going to match you with the right person to meet your needs. So you need to think about it. But there certainly seems to be an element of confidence with the women coming on to become, mentees, that they're kind of going, I want this, but I'm not sure if I'm right. If my business is too small, am I at the right stage of my business to get a mentor? And they look at some of the mentor profiles and they see, they're coming from big organisations such as like Hitachi. There was someone from us, and you talk like BAE, KPMG, lots and lots of great big corporations. And if that imposter syndrome seems to pop up because they feel like they're not quite right. So, can I ask both of you really just to kind of give some thoughts on, as you, Emily, as mentoring somebody that, Ella is, a small business that's grown, but also Jenny from the program, about who's right for the program, who should be signing up. So Emily, do you want to mention from your side really about the size of business?
I suppose I would say that any size of business can be signing up. Ella's at the very much a startup stage. So I don't know whether you're looking at employee numbers, but there wouldn't be typically employees in that business. And we're definitely finding some benefit in working together. So I don't think there'd be any size. I would say, as someone that suffered from imposter syndrome my whole working career, that you need to try and put that aside, and absolutely a mentor can really help you with that. Because so I've used mentors before to help me with the imposter syndrome, because that's somebody giving me confidence. That's someone in my corner telling me, actually, you're really good, you can do this, and giving me that boost. So I would say use mentors if you feel imposter syndrome, not to let that put you off.
No, I agree with that, Emily. And I think, imposter syndrome is something that's been around for a while, but I think my sense is that it's becoming talked about quite a lot more now. And also you seem to see a lot more about it on social media feeds and things like that. So I think it's good that it's something that people are talking about more. And certainly I share your experience, that sort of self-doubt sometimes is always sitting there in your head. And having worked for a big corporate and had sort of jobs, sort of same jobs that some of our mentors have, it's not unique to small business leaders either. It's something that lots of us share. And I think when you're running a small business, it's quite a lonely place. Sometimes it's exciting and it's challenging and it's stimulating, but sometimes it's quite lonely. And having a mentor can really help to ease that loneliness a little bit and give you somebody that as a sounding board.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it came up, we did the launch event in October, lots of the questions came through from the female business owners. So like, is this right for me? Is there a criteria? What do I have to, is the size of business? I've been trading so long. And it's almost like they were looking at kind of putting the obstacles in the way themselves, rather than actually, no, this is for you. Are you an entrepreneur? Have you got a business? Are you female? Then this program is being aimed at you. So it was really interesting, to see that perception that, my business is too small, I'm not ready for it. I haven't, like you met Emily, like you said, have you got any employees in your business already? So Jenny, there is no criteria. As long as you've got a business that's up and operating and you're a female owner.
That's right, Heather, exactly right. So it doesn't matter the size of business, the sector you're in, the stage in your business sort of cycle, it's fine. Just sign up and get involved. The Be the Business also run a mentoring scheme. So this is a 12-week program. Be the Business runs a 12-month program as well. And there are some slightly different criteria for that. We try and encourage more of the slightly more established businesses. But even so, we're very kind of open on that subject as well. And importantly, that's a program that's completely inclusive. It's open to any gender. So whereas the program we're running with NatWest here is specifically targeting female entrepreneurs, that 12-month program is open to all.
Brilliant. And your connection with West of England combined authorities, like WECA, as we like to call it, to make it nice and short and sweet. So are you working with them to identify the businesses in their area? Is that how that relationship between the two of you comes together?
Well, we've got a great relationship with WECA. So Be the Business is a national organisation. So, we cover the whole of England, and also we work with the devolved authorities as well. And WECA was one of our first kind of regional partners. So the relationship is quite well established. As I mentioned earlier on, we are running a programme with the University of Bath, and that's been promoted and supported with some scholarships with WECA. So that's been fantastic. And then we have a series of meetings now with people in WECA, people in the region, to talk about, how we can support businesses locally, how we can amplify the things that are already going on in the region, and how we can serve the businesses that need business support. So it's a really great relationship. It's got off to a great start, and we're in regular contact, really trying to understand what the region needs and how we can best work with some of the existing programs, and indeed add in some of the things that Be the Business has to offer.
So I'm thinking on the, as you've said, obviously the programs are available for both genders. We're targeting female entrepreneurs in this particular program that we're working with you on. So if anybody's on and they're not from the WECA region and they've dialed in because they've seen the details, are interested, if they go on the Be the Business website, they can get the details of what programs are available, because you are, as you say, right across England, the schemes are available. So I don't want people to think that, this is the only part of the country that actually you can pick up the programs from. They are available elsewhere. And we've had quite a lot of interest actually on the comments, and thankfully my colleague Charles just been sharing the link for those of you who've asked the questions of actually how I signed up. So hopefully you can see those on there, and we'll make sure that we do share the details back out again on social media from the event. So just before Ella joins us, who's our mentor, I don't know if Sam, if you're available to come back on online, because it'd be very interesting just to talk a bit more about the support that's available for female entrepreneurs at WECA, because obviously we just talked about the mentoring program. You're one of the first partners that Be the Business had. From your side, how's it working for you, identifying the businesses and actually getting them to talk about and considering having a mentor for them?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a mixed bag, and going back to what you said earlier on, it's about getting people to believe in themselves and take that leap and make sure that they take up these opportunities, because there's some amazing stuff going on. So we work really, really hard to introduce these new programs and make sure people are aware of them. And a lot of the time, small businesses, and especially women-led businesses, women-led entrepreneurs, they're sort of head down in the business and they don't see what's going on around them a lot of the time. So having the mentor on board can sort of take some of that away from them as well, and they can focus on other things, because sometimes you're so focused inside that business, you need to sort of look need to look around the boundaries a little bit more. And the mentoring program certainly does that, because it opens your eyes to other things and other opportunities. And definitely working with Be the Business on a number of programs that we've sort of been trailblazers for over the last probably 18 months, 2 years now. I think our sort of collaboration and partnership sort of struck up, and that's opened other opportunities for businesses, for us, for different types of businesses that we're now working with. Daisy's been working very closely on the Mentoring for Growth programme with Peter, who's our partner in the west of England and the whole of the southwest, but obviously particularly for us in the west of England. And that's gone down phenomenally well. Obviously the criteria is slightly different for that, but it's a great programme. And again, I think going back to that sort of imposter syndrome type thing, it is difficult for people to sort of come out of their shell sometimes and say, actually, yeah, I do want that support. I do want that help. I do want that mentoring. Because it's their business, it's their baby. They've grown this. So sometimes it's difficult to let people in to sort of share that with you. So I think having the mentoring program is hugely beneficial to any size business looking to take on this opportunity. And of course it's funded, and businesses should have a look into that. Give us a ring, speak to the Growth Hub, and go through it with Daisy and the team, and speak through the programme. Have a look at it, and sign up. 100%, definitely.
Thanks, Sam. And we have shared, so my colleague has been sharing the link out for the Female Entrepreneurship Programme, the link there. If anybody else, who's not looking to go on the female 12-week programme, which we're talking about, if they either go through your website or Be the Business to be able to get the details there as to how to sign up. And you're quite right, please do sign up. If you find, you go with a mentor and it isn't actually the right person, it's not working for you, then go back and have a look for a different mentor. Don't stall it, because that support's there. Emily was just talking, she has a regular call every week with Ella, every week, they have that contact. So it's free of charge. So it's almost like, why wouldn't you? So on that, actually, we're going to have a conversation now. Well, I'm going to hand back over to Jenny to have a conversation with Ellie, because Ellie's a lady who saw this programme, signed up for it, and really can tell us exactly how it's worked for her. So hi, Ella. Thanks for joining us.
Fantastic. Ella, so lovely to see you again. Thanks so much for joining. I know you've had a busy morning, so thanks for finding time to work with us today and
My pleasure.
Share your story. So that's fantastic. So look, tell me, why did you seek out a mentor?
Sure. So I set up my business, or I had this kind of business idea actually 3 years ago now as an idea, and then about 2 years ago, I started to kind of work on it, myself, but feeling very small. I really did have this sort of insignificant or not believe that this imposter syndrome that you've been speaking about. And so I kind of worked on it for about a year, and then just realized, I didn't have the skills. I didn't have all the skills, and there were things that I was kind of not doing as professionally as I knew I could, and things that I kind of knew I didn't know. And so it was actually, so I'm from Bristol as well. So I was at the Pervasive Media Studio, which is in the Watershed, and someone suggested that I check out the NatWest website and look at, back her business, Be the Business, what was going on there. And I just felt really excited about it. So I kind of had that in my mind. And then when this opportunity came along, I think it was just before lockdown that the kind of a video just like this one actually was kind of streamed, and I watched it and just thought, do you know what, I really need to do this program. I really owe this to myself. And, to have an opportunity where we don't have to find the funds to pay for a mentor is just so golden. I work with a coach already, and I kind of knew how valuable it is to have that opportunity. And so I signed up straight away and have never looked back.
So why don't you just tell us a little bit more about Business Yoga, what the business is about, and what you do?
Yeah, sure. So we are all about workplace well-being. So I was kind of moved seeing my sister, who works in a finance company in London, and just seeing how much she wasn't looking after her body, and having a background in yoga, I just thought this would be such a good thing to be able to bring to the workplace. And so our real mission is to bring well-being to the workplace, to put well-being at the heart of the workplace, because I really see that so many people are stressed at work, and so many people, especially now in this lockdown period, working at your desk, on the sofa, in the kitchen, that this can be so important. And so we have kind of, 4 strands really. We offer desk workouts, and the whole idea is that you don't have to get changed. You just come along and we do a workout at the desk, which is where I've just come from teaching for Hamlin's, actually, a lovely law firm. And then we offer a membership site with videos, so you can access those at any time and just be, constantly thinking about your breath, your posture, how can you really make the most of your work day. We have a timer, which is all about putting those breaks in place, because I have another client who she can easily work from 8 in.m. till 6 p.m. and just have a sandwich at her desk, and she doesn't think about her body. So it's just that re-educating people, and getting that little alert that says you've actually been sitting still for this long. And then finally real yoga on the mat, which is also a great offering for lunchtime and so on.
So you're making me want to sit up straight now in my chair. So tell me about your experience then of the mentoring scheme. Was it what you expected?
It actually did exceed it. So and I'm really glad that I'd watched that video, because I really understood that it's about so I had this idea that a mentor was someone that kind of tells you what to do. And what I realized was a mentor helps you to realize your vision. And so I just felt really empowered to kind of go for it and take responsibility. And I think it's such a big life lesson, actually, taking responsibility and changing our mindset. But so I kind of, I wouldn't say interviewed, but I really, I went through a lot of mentors looking at what their skills were and what did I really want? Why was I doing this? And then met with different people. And Emily Ryder, who I think you've all met, I just really connected with. And it was quite funny because we have lots of things in common as well that, that are kind of aside from, and actually in terms of business, we have a lot of connections, but we're also quite different. Okay. So it really felt like a real balance of the skills that Emily has and the skills that I have, and the ethos that we have and the values that we have connecting. But just by chance, there's also things like we were doing this course. We were both going to the same open day the next day when we met. It was just lots of really lovely kind of synchronicities. But yeah, it's been just such a special opportunity. And, I really feel like Emily is my mentor and also someone that I want to continue to work with, and I want to kind of bring into the business yoga ethos and, just really make her a part of the team, because it's been such a blessing.
And what impact would you say that mentoring has had on your business?
Really massively. So what I'm identifying, it's like before this opportunity, I had many of the tools, but I didn't believe in myself. Mm-hmm. And I didn't feel like, if I was to book something, I didn't feel like I really understood all of the steps and the process that I needed to go through to make everything happen and to just make sure that it was a great experience and a great kind of journey for that customer. And now, I just feel so confident, and so that when someone does sign up, I can just, it's such a blessing to work with them and to know what we're about to do and that journey that we're about to go on.
And what would you say to anybody that's thinking of having a mentor?
I would say, please go for it. And, and the reason I'm saying it in this way is because I kind of have come from that background of not believing that I'm good enough. And, I wasn't important enough and my business was only small and all these things. Just, pick up that phone or write that message and just connect with people, because it's such a special opportunity. And, as I think, particularly for women, we can, and obviously not all women, but some women will go through this kind of thinking that they're not as important or not having the confidence to really drive forwards and push. And I bet your idea is amazing. You will have something really innovative to offer. So please go for it and sign up.
So I think we'll just invite Emily to come back just for a moment or two so that you can see each other. So
hi. Hello.
Emily, same question to you, I guess. If there are people out there thinking of being a mentor, what would you say to them?
I would say that you don't have to come with all the answers. I think I said before, Ella had sent a list of the kind of things that she was expecting to get out of the mentoring sessions. And there were some very specific kind of technical things. And I thought, well, I'm not sure how to I don't know what that is. I don't know how to recommend that. But actually, it's Ella and I having a conversation and understanding what she wants to get out of that piece of technical equipment for her to then go and decide which one is the best for herself. So you're not coming with all the answers. You're coming to have a conversation and ask sensible questions, I think, so that Ella can find the answer for herself. So I would say absolutely do it. It's confidence in yourself as well. It builds your own motivation, your own confidence, different skills for yourself. So yeah, I would say sign up.
Yeah, so very much an enabling and developmental relationship for both parties, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, look, thank you both so much for joining us today and for giving us your insights. It's always much, much better to hear from people that are actually involved and their experiences of a programme. So thank you again. So Heather, I think, is it back to you now?
It is. Thank you. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Ella and Emily as well. It was really interesting to get more understanding of actually what the program's about and actually the people who are using it and what they're benefiting from. So we've actually gone through the questions that have been asked of us already. We have shared the link out to those who've been asking it back onto the website. We will be following up with all the details that have been shared today regarding how to sign up for the programme. Also, the support that's available from the West of England Combined Authority from their growth hub that Daisy and Sam have spoken about. I've just had another question come through, how to connect with the mentor. That is through the platform. So you need to sign up to become a mentee on the platform, and then you'll be able to actually go along and pick your mentor that you want to work with. So if you want to work with Emily, then you need to go onto that platform and actually connect with her that way through the Be the Business programme. But, for me, first of all, thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And I just want to stress, NatWest and Be the Business have been working together now to put this programme together and to share the details for about 7 or 8 months now. And it's been such an interesting journey to see how much interest there is for female entrepreneurs to actually be part of this programme. And if I can emphasize one thing, is just be brave, just go through the process. It's not that hard. The questions aren't, they're not asking for too much information, but you need to think about your answers, because it will shape the decision that the algorithm that sits behind their program, it will shape which mentors are brought to you. So have a think about what you want to achieve, why you'd like a mentor, what you'd like to get from it, where's the kind of the gap in your knowledge at this moment in time that you need that a mentor may be able to help you with on that journey. So have a think about that. You sign up, you do get the details through, you do get to choose from the various mentors there. And Jenny, you've touched on already about going through that process of, having a look at the different mentors, doing a bit of research, find out which one you want to go with. But I'm sure, if you choose something and it's not the right one the first time, you can go back and choose a different one if that's what you feel.
Absolutely. It's really easy, really straightforward. It's free, and I think, as you've heard today, there are great benefits to be had personally and professionally from being involved in the programme.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you, Jenny. So we will close that now. We will share this recording back out. You can watch it again if you want to get any of the details from it. If you're on social media, if you look on Twitter and on LinkedIn, you'll find both NatWest Business and Be the Business will be actually sharing the details out again about the programme, how to connect up. But if I can just leave, one message with you, just take all those worries aside, put that imposter syndrome aside, and just sign up and go on that journey, because it's a fantastic opportunity for you and your business. With that, we'll say thank you. Thank you, Jenny, for joining me today.
Pleasure. Thanks, Heather.